I'm Gabriele Schliwa. I'm a PhD researcher at the University of Manchester, and I wanted to use this opportunity to share a bit of my research and experience as part of the Manchester CycleHack project that we developed at the University of Manchester over the last year together with Manchester City Council, but also with a variety of very different stakeholders. The idea of it was really to turn Manchester into a real-life laboratory for the study of cycling, and as central to this is the quadruple helix model for knowledge-driven innovation, which is basically the collaboration between academia, public sector. So we engaged with different universities, City Council, Transport for Greater Manchester. I also had a good chat with the police, local businesses like Pavo, and over 1,700 people that we reached through a survey that we did in the beginning. And the starting point was really to identify these needs, to create synergies across these different groups. And so my main interest in this project, and also as further part of my PhD, is really new forms of collaboration and urban innovation. But since I started the project, I really also discovered the bike as a major means of redesigning cities at a human scale, and got really excited about the bike as a tool for change. Because when I moved to Manchester, I really just used the bike to get around as a creek and chip way. I also really tried to identify how we can redesign cities at a human scale and not just at a car scale. And also, what is the role of technology and citizens in city design? Because since we saw in the UK, the infrastructure is really made for cars, as also Pablo emphasized earlier. How can we use digital tools and not make them as a goal in itself, but really use the digital as a tool, as a facilitator to engage citizens in city design, and not be just blinded by apps and so on. There are many studies about why do cyclists jump red lights and why women don't cycle and so on. But I think it's also really important to reflect on the data we collect as researchers, and also the process we engage with people. And as part of this, we look further into tools for urban innovation, which could be apps, labs like Feature Everything, festival labs, or hacks like the CycleHack. And so I'll take a few examples to just show some things that we've done. So one major project that we did last year was to investigate an app which is called Strava Cycling, which you can use on your mobile phone. You just switch it on, it collects, it records your journey, and you can see calories burned, kilometers cycled, the time you use. And the special thing about Strava is really that it creates beautiful heat maps, because all the GPS dots are aggregated. So you can identify popular cycling routes and less popular cycling routes. When we now compare the UK with the Netherlands, it really looks like the cycling levels are the same, because it's all really glowing blue. But we know in fact that in Manchester, for example, just 2% of people cycle to work, whereas in the Netherlands it's 40%. So it might not really be representative on a city scale. So what we did was comparing field counts with Strava data in order to investigate if this can be used as a tool to direct infrastructure investment, to identify where popular routes, where less popular routes. And what we identified while comparing this data, we have in Manchester 2% people on bikes, and almost 12% of them use Strava, which is quite a high number. The average speed of Strava users on side roads is 21 kilometers per hour, on main roads 26 kilometers per hour. My average speed is about 18 kilometers per hour. I also use the app for research purposes and so on. Compared the different age ranges, and we can see there's a slight bias towards a younger group. Then we also see a heavy male bias, so 90% of Strava users are male and just 10% female. And this compares to about 65-70% male and 30% female in reality, who are actually designing for, because this data really shows a bit what Steve also already previously emphasized. One project that I had the pleasure to be involved is send out people as human sensors. So we had Pablo providing bikes to hire. People that attended the conference could sign up to hire bikes, got a nice Feature Everything yellow vest. We attached a mobile phone to the handlebars, where people could type in short messages when they were cycling around to answer a research question, which was friction. So whenever you perceive friction in a city, you could type this into the app, and it was geolocated. Actually gave a sense of how it is to cycle within the city. Over 30 people contributed to an academic paper, and all the data streams fed automatically into a PDF that was published by the end of the day. and that is also quite revolutionary in academic terms. I think we also invited people from City Council, TFGM, to discuss the data collected, but this really provides the opportunity to make visible what was previously invisible, and that we collected data with people, not just taking them from people. I'm really excited about CycleHack and that we are now coming together to prototype solutions over the weekend, because it really will provide the opportunity to take Manchester as a local laboratory to test and experiment new ideas, but takes this over to a global platform. So really create the space to collaborate and experiment in Manchester and share our ideas on the global catalog. So therefore it will be very important for everyone to sign up to the catalog, so that all the ideas can be shared within all the cities. And I think over the turn of the weekend, everybody's not just a cycle hacker, but also really a global city experience designer. Yeah. And so